Hello, friends. Welcome back. The point I keep making in so many talks is that we're all, you all, we all, we're all responding to the wrong things. You look at all the videos out there on YouTube. Now, granted that you're watching videos, sharing videos and watching them and searching for new videos, and that you're subscribed to me and want to or enjoy, hearing new great stuff in all sorts of categories. Now, let's grant that, because it's like, obviously you're listening to me. You have the patience and a few extra minutes of interest in the world to hear what I have to say. And so granted that we're in a realm of unprecedented access and ease to educational videos of all kinds. And essentially, that's the true backbone of YouTube, is the access to the educational videos that are actually free. And my channel's free too. They show ads to me, but I don't make money. You can't monetize or make money as a partner with YouTube until you got to have like a couple thousand subscribers or something. I mean, it's almost impossible to get there if you're not there already. So, but whatever. I mean, I don't even think that. I think they're pretty lenient. You can skip most of them in 5 seconds. And the channels that show you a ton of ads know that like have a huge following and stuff, know that they are making money. The more ads that they show, they're making more money. And it's so that's a good thing. I'm not complaining against anybody. It's a great thing. YouTube has allowed unprecedented access for independent publishers to actually make a living. This is a revolution in publishing. Absolutely. YouTube is a fantastic revolution. And the point is, because of the education of these videos, and music too, the love for music and rhythm, there's education in that. It's some of our best education that we give ourselves, is access and exploration into new kinds of music, and giving ourselves the patience to approach other styles as well, giving ourselves the time to do that. So so given we're in a milieu of appreciating that. Now, I'm not talking about all the animal fart videos, or just the cute puppy videos or whatever, or even like a cute kid singing a song or having a tantrum or something. It's like, it's amazing what can garner millions of people to all click on it and watch it. And then all of these other channels that have the most, like they work on as a science to have titles that just they trap your attention. They snap you into checking. Oh, really? Oh, what's this? Right? It's like irresistible for some titles and stuff like that. Like Russell Brand, it's like he's pursued YouTube, his titles have become so irresistible, and his image that he paints of himself has become also, ironically, more authentic. I think Russell Brand, he seems a lot more authentic than he ever was as an actor and stuff, and comedian, and because he's allowed himself that space to be more authentic as a reality show, talk show, a commentary and news outlet in a way. So, but what I'm saying is, those are the things we all and you all, everybody's commenting on. They offer that, like Russell Brand and some talk. It's like he's got like 20,000 comments. and stuff. It's like you're off base. We're all off base in doing that. The whole world is losing because this is not important. Giving our anonymous commentary on politics and typing, because the typing is a reduction. Writing is a reduction. When we speak, our soul is coming forth. And it can happen in writing, but it's a lot slower and a lot more delayed, and it doesn't fit well with we can see it doesn't fit well with all of these subject matters. And yet the one thing it fits perfectly with, nobody's doing it, and that's music. And that's not just me, the lack of comments on me. I look at all other musicians too, who are doing anything good, who aren't just like bloated on their own popularity and got like famous young off of some little gimmick, but they never really innovated or came up with any like great songwriting at all. It's just like, give me a break. So yeah, plenty of comments and stuff on but that's the geared up fake world. What I'm pointing out is that, well, YouTube, and I would imagine most of my subscribers, a lot of them, would be of the more authentic YouTube surfer type, who we value extremely this new media for the potential in education and educational videos. And I was going to name a few, like all the free lectures by Terence McKenna. It's such timely material, absolutely timely. It is philosophy for our age, and it is philosophy embedded within the history of philosophy as well. It's not just unrooted. Also, like the lectures and those videos, those movies made about Carl Jung, like the Invitation to the Dream or whatever it's called, the Dream one, and then there's a couple other videos that are extremely fascinating by Carl Jung. But I'm just like scratching the surface. As you know, there are millions of excellent videos. You've probably all seen great documentaries, right? Like all of those animal and nature documentaries. I think YouTube is lacking in anthropological documentaries. There are a lot more out there that you don't seem to be able, that don't show up in search results, essentially, that don't show up. Instead, the search results, when you search for anthropology documentaries, you get you get a few of them, you get some of the stuff, but you get a lot of the same sort of stuff too. You'll get like Margaret Mead, you'll get Jane Goodall. It's like, well, Jane Goodall wasn't doing anthropology, folks. She was a zoologist. But they show you this stuff anyways. They mix it in, and then you'll see all sorts of stuff, and stuff that's not even on topic. Travel documentaries and stuff. It's like, so it doesn't make sense. There's a lot that's missing in anthropology. There's a lot more room for growth for YouTube as an archive and a resource for education. So it's amazing. And then on top of that, us as individual creators of our own content, whether it be in music or poetry or art, there's always the possibility that we can garner enough of a crowd and enough of an audience that we can try to monetize a little bit, which I think is totally fair the way, and then YouTube allows people to pick. Like Russell Brand, he shows you one ad at the beginning and you can skip it in 5 seconds. You see? Or maybe, now, and then he shows one in the middle, which is a 10-second one that you can, that something like that. He shows 2 now, I think. But that's completely within reason, and it's within bounds of what other people are doing on YouTube. Now, I can't choose that because they're just showing ads, especially if you watch through my playlists. Please just still go to my playlists and watch them, and know that like every third video or something, they try to pop a little ad, but you can skip it in 5 seconds. So in the end, YouTube's just getting so huge. They're trying to be, seems to me, they're trying to be as fair as possible given the circumstances within particular parameters like what we're talking about here. So that's the amazing thing. So like Russell Brand shows a very fair amount of ads because other people, other channels, like when they're independent publishers and then they get like 20,000 subscribers and they'll maybe show one ad at the beginning, something like that. And then you can skip it in 5 seconds. So, and then if you like it, you can watch the ad. Once in a while, the ads are interesting. But most of the time you want to skip them, I think. And it's a great format. It's like because you're not even watching commercials or anything like that, like long things, like a long series of like a truck commercial and then a beer commercial and then a movie commercial and then a pharmaceutical commercial, all of this stuff, and then some peanut butter is going to come in, right? So it's nothing like that, and in fact, those are when people are monetizing, because on educational videos, many of them are free. Most of Terence McKenna's lectures are public access, totally free. Nobody's going to monetize those channels, and so you don't even have to watch an ad at the beginning, and it's quite nice. It offers us a lot. So what YouTube is, so it's. And of course, there's all the comments on those things, and yet you don't even know who's publishing his stuff. You don't even know. It could be, who is it, Orville Redenbacher? It could be Bin Laden, right? Or it could be CBS, right? And affiliates, or it could be just some person in their basement, who is like radically opposed to your way of life or something like that. You don't know, right? You don't know because they don't say. It's just a video. It's a channel that just publishes Terence McKenna stuff. So you can enter in, right? It seems like everyone has something to say about that. And there's tons of comments, and yet you don't even know whose channel you're commenting on. People are commenting among the other comments. It's a pit of anonymous, faceless voices, and faceless, not even voice. They're not even voices at that. It's faceless, voiceless passing of notes. Can you imagine that? Like faceless, voiceless passing of notes. Totally anonymous. You enter a pit full of notes, and everybody enters in with their little spectroscope where no one can see who they are looking around either, and they don't see anybody else who they are, but they see what notes they left, and then everyone's like arguing, leaving a note. Oh, that note infuriated me, and they write it out. This note that you said is absolutely stupid. You're a bum. And then they do that and try to inflame one another. It's literally, the comments are pits of hell, and that's what everyone's contributing to on all these channels, so unwittingly, without any foresight or distance or hindsight, without any of it about like what they're doing. And yet the one thing they should be commenting on is like arts and music. Like almost no one's doing that. Literally nobody, like very few. No, it's almost nobody. There's no comments, and it's not just me. I look at other people and I'm really surprised, like musicians who I consider to be way better than me, who are like already a lot more like famous than me or successful. And I'll look at their videos and they'll have almost no comments. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like people, art and music and things that I like, and I look and the people I subscribe to and stuff like that, some of my friends' channels. Like my friend's channel in Spain, he's got his videos that he made. Yeah, he made them in film school, but he was extremely creative and had some excellent ideas, and he just put them on YouTube, and it's like there's no comments on any of them. It's like I left a couple comments and he didn't seem to care. And so after a few years, I erased those comments. I said, well, I mean, if he's not even going to respond to the few comments he has, if he just considers it like, it's crazy, because those are the things that deserve comments, are when you can see who's publishing it. They're forward, and it's like, this is me. This is my channel. Leave a comment. Drop your comments for me, and then I will respond. Or I can respond. I may respond. I don't know if I always will respond, but I may respond. And I mean, there's that possibility of interacting with the creator and the artist themselves. And such an opportunity. People are squandering their voices. They don't realize what our voices or our texts are truly worth. They're worth our own personal growth, our own personal education. It's like the integrity of YouTube is founded on you responding to artists like me. It's founded on showing the support by showing the reaction and the response. And stop all of your jabbering and quibbling in political commentaries and on anonymous pits of like I was saying, like that's essentially, I've tried to say this whole thing a lot, and it's like, you can't just put this in one sentence, there's a lot of angles, and I have to say a few things about this. And that's the whole thing with all of my talks. Most of my talks, I'm not trying to say anything simple either. I take the time that it takes to say what I say, because I'm overflowing from my heart, and that's the time that's needed to find the words that are true, and to elaborate and extrapolate the nuances and details of these complex subjects. And even then, in my talks, there's literally 0 comments. I have like 50 talks. They're all good. All the ones I've left up are good. There are 0 comments, like I'm saying. And yet, it's one of the few authentic things. Yeah, there are other people talking, and the ones that are getting all of the comments, they don't have anything to say aside from reflecting what they've read and seen and taken from other sources as well. They're not processing anything, They're not. It's like, it's like those guys, Tim Pool, or, Joe Rogan processes. He processes a bit. But, and then there are a few big guys. Obviously, Russell Brand is one of the few people that processes and can change and make himself vulnerable on the camera, like what I'm doing. To think out loud like this is to make myself vulnerable. And it's like, you don't get that from, like, who's that young looking guy who, I think he's an Orthodox, in one of the Orthodox religions, right? But he's like that young looking guy, and he's calls himself conservative, but he's like extremely, he seems like he hates people. That's what it is. That guy, like a lot of the people, they seem like using my intuition that they don't really like the common man. They don't like people who work hard for little pay. They just, in the end, they don't like people like us. And they especially don't like people like me who work hard for no pay at something for decades, like music. Now, that's working hard for no pay for decades, I'll tell you. I make money now, but it's not very much in the end, and it doesn't make up for 20 years, but at least it's something. But but they don't like these people, a lot of them, like I have to say, even if it seems like they've got important things to say about news, they're just reflecting. They're just, or reflecting and then responding in outrage against other people. And there's almost zero self-reflection or any true vulnerability from a lot of from most of these people, and yet they're the ones that are getting all the comments. And it's right, but they don't even seem to, like, they seem to despise a guy like me who's really thought it was worthwhile to devote decades to these ideas within music, and like to do so, right? And the other people like that in the genre who are really more interested in the art than in fame, and we suffer for that because the public, there's certain, like, the to get vast numbers of people and a huge crowd, it's almost impossible without gimmickry and falsehood and whatnot, which is what the masses are just eating up, and without any idea that, well, they're squandering in the moment. They're all squandering the opportunity to recognize and realize YouTube as a great place for education. Like, to listen to my talks out, if you listen to it and don't just shirk the fact that it's 15 minutes long or 30 minutes long or whatever it happens to be, or even 4 minutes long. It's like, people, if it's 4 minutes, they'll listen to 20 seconds of it, right? If it's 30 minutes, they might listen to a minute and a half. It's like, there's no recognition at all. And there's a total squandering of the educational value on this new revolutionary new media and video sharing platform that has come about on YouTube. And that's why I'm making this talk, to encourage those careful listeners to respond more often, to show your responses, and to start to pile up some comments where it's worthwhile, where you're actually responding and you're not just responding to some promotional video on some of the channel. Like, anybody can post a video of some famous song or something, and then if you're commenting on that, and it's like, but there's no sense to that. And in fact, like I said, you don't even know half the time who's actually behind the channel, right? Like, even Tim Pool, I would suspect it's not him. It was never him. He seems to me, he smells and appears to me to have all the markings of mainstream media who went in and saw that they were drowning to this new media, to independent media, and so they've put in their own puppets to appear like independent dudes just sitting in their room or in their garage, and who are reflecting on the issues of the day. And all of the big issue, what he said, what she said, what it's like on and on and on. And it's a pit. And they've found success within that, but they don't realize that they've actually sold their souls out to, it's a type of devil, the the devil of the consensus, the popular hysteria of the consensus items of pertinence that people are getting, which obviously it does affect me. I'm not just totally immune from the news, because some news is really shattering and stuff like that. But like, that's why Russell Brand offers a lot of very selective stories that are most often like some of the most pertinent things, whereas everyone else is jabbering about what he said or she said or something like this, and they're going on and on about that, about, oh, what did Musk say? What did this celebrity say? It's like, oh, they said this and inflamed this celebrity snapped back with this, and then everyone's talking about it, and then someone watches the video and makes a video of themselves watching the news video and responding, and then they get a bunch of subscribers, and they call themselves like response videos. It's a sham. It's all a big sham set up to lead you astray. Not necessarily by YouTube, but by the negative power that exists everywhere. And YouTube has a positive power within it too. And like I was saying, it's that power of unprecedented independent publishing. And it's also the power of education through videos. That's really where I've spent almost all my time on YouTube, is on videos that are educational. I don't watch shows or anything like that. And I'll listen to music and arts and watch people dancing, and I'll listen to talks and commentaries, but they've got to have an educational point. And I like listening to poems that are read, and other stories as well, if there's a good narrative voice. So these, and then of course the anthropology, there's history, there's finance, there's all kinds of excellent videos on YouTube that uphold its spine of the educational value, and that they're bringing it to all the world for almost for nothing. It's almost absolutely free. Like the couple ads you see most of the time on most channels are really tempered down, and that even Russell Brand, he doesn't show a bunch of ads. Jordan Peterson used to show no ads a few years ago. His channel was all free, and then about a year or two ago, he started showing one ad. These days, you get about 5 ads. It's just over the top, I think. So and then some channels you'll see, they try to show you like 30 ads through like a half an hour video or something, or 10 ads through a half an hour video. But 10 ads every 3 minutes, it seems like way too many, even if they're the 5-second variety. No one else is doing that. The few people who are doing that, they're just really trying to milk their audience, and it's frustrating, because it breaks the rhythm of the video. And so I think it makes sense to keep it to a minimum. So I think it's a little shameless that some people are doing that, but I'm not going to judge it too bad. It's like people, because that's their choice to do with their audience, if they feel, and if the people are watching it and stuff still, and they're drudging through it, then, well, you can't blame one side alone. Everyone's going along with that. I don't like it. I think that I would, if I could ever get like a few thousand subscribers, I still wouldn't want to monetize until I had at least, 50,000 subscribers or something. Then I might show like one quick ad at the beginning or something. I'm not here to milk the public. My channel is free. I don't make a dime off of YouTube. It's like a conduit for promotion, and it's also a joy of sharing, a joy of bringing my best to you and to the world. And that's what warrants comments and your participation, your reactions and responses. I'd love to hear back from all of your responses, from everybody's I'd love to hear back from everybody, basically. Everybody, all my subscribers and everybody who watches the video. I want to hear back from everybody. That's ideal for me, for what I'm doing. And the fact that, it's the opposite is concerning. And so I have to try to approach this difficult topic in many different ways. So thanks for listening through. Please check out my playlists. I've got my best stuff. It's ordered in, I think, the most enjoyable ways to watch per subject, whether it's my music video, my solos, many different types of solos, my ambient flamenco. You can listen to the more relaxing end all alone, and it's the whole playlist. It's like 2 hours long or something. I've got other stuff like more like what is it? Buried Treasure, the Pirate's Treasure one, Buried Treasure playlist, where I've got some of my punchiest, most innovative stuff that's been generally overlooked and has gotten very few comments and stuff like that. I've got the talks, my Shire talks, like I said, where I have basically 0 comments on any of them, which is just absolutely astounding. In a milieu like YouTube, where you can see reflected a genuine love for ideas. I mean, why would Jordan Peterson be a celebrity if there wasn't a huge taste and general love for ideas among people? And here I am with good ideas brought to you in an excellent format. And there's 0, right? Like, I would think I'd at least have like a few just a few comments on all my talks, and that some of the talks would be dogpiled with comments. That would be organic and natural and reflect the real world around me that I see. But apparently the YouTube and the audience on YouTube, it's not the real world. The real world I'm performing. I have gigs, nightly gigs. But and I get applause and people coming up to me and delighted about the music, buying my CDs. This happens all the time. And yet YouTube is not the real world. There's like almost no cheer, no applause, and then like no love of ideas either. And that's not the real world. It's not the real world. It's very strange, because other channels, they seem to reflect the real world a little more. Like Jordan Peterson's channel, there's genuine love for ideas in it. Or Russell Brand's channel, genuine love for interaction and ideas and supporting people when they say something right and they say something well, which I'll do too, even to Russell Brand, where it's just a pit of like 50,000 comments. I'll still say, bravo, bravo. It's like, this needed to be said. You said it right, Russell. And I'll offer a good word. I don't hesitate. Just as most people don't in the real world. But on my channel, everyone's hesitating. And actually on most musicians' channels too, people are hesitating. And so I wrapped it up as well as I could. I tried to get to the basis of this hesitation in this whole talk. I hope it was meaningful for you to listen through. I really care about what you all think, and I'm open to explore these ideas further in the comments box with you. And I hope to hear back from you.